Hello, this is Jam Master Daniel 96, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over some new potential leaks for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and this comes from Bespin Bulletin's Instagram account, and it will be linked down in the description. He has a list of all the reshoot changes and updated information regarding the Rise of Skywalker plot, which Jedi Paxis is reporting. So, don't take these leaks as gospel. Take them with a grain of salt and stuff. These could possibly happen, and let's get to it. And the first one on the list is the Luke and Leia training sequence is no longer the opening of the movie. It may be cut or moved. The opening of the film is now on Exegol. A control tower rises from the ground and transmits a signal, some rumbling below the surface of the planet. Then the Sith Fleet Star Destroyer break through the rocky surface. Then the next bullet point is the Oracle sequence has been removed and Kylo killing natives has been toned down. Kylo on the swamp planet will now come across a castle and finds the Wayfinder in a chest. Kylo gets a flashback of sorts hearing Luke and Han before hearing Palpatine calling out to him. Then the next bullet point is Rey's mental training on the Forest planet will be her attempting to communicate with the Jedi of the past. Rey will appear more angry/frustrated with her physical training on the Forest planet, with her cutting a tree that accidentally falls on BB-8. Rey will try to reach out to Luke but fails. Rey tries to give Leia the Skywalker lightsaber as she feels undeserving. Then the next part is Kylo meeting Palpatine has changed. Kylo is more angry in the scene instead of a conversation. Kylo threatens Palpatine with his lightsaber ignited. Curt words are thrown back and forth. Palpatine doesn't refute that he died above Endor. Palpatine mocks Kylo's let the past die theme and insists the past is key to the future. Rey's lineage reveals the Sith fleet has been years in the making and the Empire needs a ruler. Palpatine doesn't mention the dyad anymore. And then another part is Boyo is Poe and Finn's informant, the middleman between the Resistance and General Hux. And then the next part is Rey yells at Poe for damaging the Falcon with lightspeed springing, and Poe yells at her for damaging BB-8. Then next part is during the Resistance conversation regarding the info from Boyo, it's revealed Snoke wasn't a pawn in Palpatine's game. Instead, he rose to power in the unknown regions. Finn worries that the Sith fleet will kidnap children to staff a fleet of that size. Then the next part is a room of high-ranking First Order officers is gathered, including Hux and Pride. Bolio's head is thrown onto a table, with Kylo revealing he knows there's a Maul within the First Order, but Kylo hopes it'll draw out Rey. An officer suggests the Sith fleet cannot be trusted, but Kylo throws him into the ceiling and he drops to the floor. And then there's a part where Maz Kanata gives Rey a pep talk before she leaves for Pisana. Then the next bit is Rey tells the gang that Luke left notes in the Jedi text above about a Sith artifact with coordinates. They go to Pisana to seek out a hermit Luke once knew. Then on Pisana, a Force bond, Kylo antagonizes Rey over her parents selling her, and nobody understands or accepts her but him. Rey travels through Pisana festival crowd to tell her friends the First Order knows of their location, but stormtroopers ambush them. Somebody in the crowd saves them and escorts them to safety. It's Lando. Luke and Lando's quest was to find the Sith relics and Ochi they were seeking. Ochi, due to his knowledge of Wayfinders, but only found his ship on Basana and not him. And then the next bit is Lando believes the First Order wanted to turn children of rebellion heroes into stormtroopers as revenge for the Empire. TIE fighters can be heard, and Lando says, "I've got a bad feeling about this." The Resistance crew flee on speeders, being chased by the First Order and Knights of Ren. The Falcon is detained. Chase ends with the First Order troopers getting killed. Ochi was a Sith assassin and not a Sith loyalist. They find the dagger, which has writing on it. Rey reveals it was tradition for assassins to inscribe secrets on their weapons. C-3PO can read the inscription, but he's forbidden by his programming from telling anybody what he says. Next bit is Zori and Poe have a past. They were spice runners, and Poe still owes her money. Rey and Zori get into a scuttle, with Rey gaining the upper hand, and Zori agreeing to take our heroes to Baba Furk. And Zori and Poe reminisce about the past. Zori gives Poe a First Order Captain medallion, which will help them get through First Order security. She'd been saving for the medallion to help get her off Kijimi and her spice running days. Poe wants her to join the Resistance, but she refuses. Rey senses Kylo's Star Destroyer and feels Chewbacca is still alive and on board the ship. This and getting on the destroyer and not the Falcon. On the Star Destroyer, Rey finds the Sith dagger, and upon picking it up, she gets a vision of what happened to her parents. Ochi kills them, with her parents trying to hide Rey. Rey reveals that Ochi was meant to find and take Rey, but her parents got in the way. During Kylo and Rey's confrontation in person, he tells Rey of her lineage. Pride kills General Hux for being the Maul. Pride informs Kylo that they know where the Resistance is heading. Luke is no longer appears to Leia as she dies, but R2 is with her. Palpatine senses Leia's death. He believes this leaves Rey with less people to turn to. Luke's Octo scene has been reshot, but the message is the same. Luke and Leia know of Rey's lineage, and this was the factor Luke not wanting to train her, but it's about what's in your heart and not your genes. The Leia and Luke training flashback might be here. Rey inspired Leia to rejoin the Jedi path. The Resistance crew learns of Leia's death when they return to the forest planet, and the crew mourns with seeing everybody is at loss. Lando tries to give some hope. Rey no longer transmits the coordinates to the Resistance. Instead, Dio reveals how to get to Exegol. The Resistance fleet takes off in one direction and the Falcon in another. The blockade runner is piloted by a Mon Cal and a Celestin. Then the next part is Royal/Praetorian Guard types are present for Rey's meeting with Palpatine. Then the next bit is as Rey is about to strike down Palpatine, she realizes she's not alone and senses Ben Solo, who's losing a fight with the Knights of Ren. She ignites a force bond and passes him a lightsaber. Rey fights off the guards. Willis Ben defeats the Knights. Palpatine's plan was to have Rey kill him and take over, but his contingency plan was to drain the Force through her and Ben to rejuvenate himself. The Resistance plan is to take out the tower on Exegol, but the First Order notices and transfers the signal to his flagship, so the Resistance needs to take his ship down to stop the Sith fleet from leaving the unknown regions. Finn and Jonah ride Orbax on the flagship, using them to take on Sith troopers. The good guys win the fight and take out the control tower within the ship, but Pride says they'll simply transfer the signal to another ship. Willis Ray is on the ground after being drained. She calmly reaches out to the Jedi of the past for help, and she's successful. Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Leia can be heard, others not specified. Force ghosts no longer appear to help Rey. It's implied they are within her spirit. Resistance ships come back online after Palpatine's death, and the fight continues. Lando shows up in the Falcon with reinforcements, including Zori. Finn fires the Star Destroyer cannons at itself, destroying the ship before the signal can be transmitted. Poe attempts a more-than-friend situation on the Resistance base, but is rebuffed in a moment played for laughs. And there you go with the potential leaks for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and this was stuff from the reshoots, and I'd say some of it looked pretty interesting and stuff, and definitely I will link this down below for you to check out. And that's pretty much all I got to say for this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think of these down below. Do you think these could possibly happen in the movie? Could they not? And with all that out of the way, see you guys with another video. Bye.